Hey guys, getting ready to watch a pay-per-view, but I'm going to try to squeeze out a video here while I'm waiting. So I've got this Jim Rimpey practice cue ball thing. It's got all these markings and shit on it. This is relevant to this discussion I'm going to talk about. If you don't have one of these, just about any ball will do. What I'm going to do here is aim at certain parts of this ball. If you have a 2-ball or 8-ball or whatever, you can do the same thing. So what I want to talk about is accuracy. And there are a lot of different categories of accuracy. I guess I'm going to talk about the main ones, the 3 main accuracy things that you have to be good at to be able to play pool well. And I'm going to put these in a specific order for a specific reason, which should come to light a little bit. The very first part that I'm going to talk about, and I think just about every pull shot builds on this. If this is not correct, everything else becomes a little bit random. And that is, where do you hit the cue ball? Are you accurate at where you hit the cue ball? So in this case, I've got this little practice ball, and there's a little cartoon of a pool player guy right dead center ball. I've chalked my tip, the rest of the ball is clean, so I go and I just try to just plaster this guy right smack in the middle of him. And then, this might not show up on camera, it's not much of a chalk mark, but if you can see, there's a little bit of chalk right there on that dude, right where I was aiming. I have found that I am pretty accurate at where I hit the cue ball at that slow speed like that. Shooting harder, I'm all over the place, and I continue to work on it. But the thing about where you hit the ball, where you hit the cue ball, this I'm going to aim on this ball. There's the word high at the top. I'm going to try to hit basically right between the I and the G on that. Right between that. Now, with top, it's actually the lower part of the tip that's going to hit the cue ball. So you just kind of have to make an allowance for that. It's like with bottom, it's the bottom part of the cue ball that's going to hit. But the bottom part of the tip's going to hit the cue ball. This probably all makes sense. With right, it's going to be the left side. With left, it's going to be the right side. So in this case, I'm aiming what looks like a little bit higher than the word high, because I know it's going to be the bottom of the tip that's going to hit it. And I'm probably still going to be low anyway. I have a lot on this shot. So we look and see. And is there even any chalk on this damn thing? Well, yeah, there is. I hit quite a bit low. You probably can't see, but way down below even the letters is where my chalk mark is. So, yeah, way off. Continue to work on it. One of the things about accuracy of where you hit the cue ball is that this, in my opinion, is the only thing that you can have 100% control over. I think a person can be 100% accurate at where they hit the cue ball. If they work at it long enough and all that. Everything else I'm going to talk about here, there's going to be a field component in it. And if you've been watching any of my videos, I do try to be a field player. And this is going to be one of the reasons there's so many field components in everything, to where just flat out accuracy, it's not accurate enough, if that makes any sense. So I believe that if I worked at it long enough, I could hit right where I aimed, whether it's top, bottom, left, right, whatever. But the other thing about this particular type of accuracy is consistency is almost important. I spent a long time, probably about a decade, thinking I was hitting on the vertical axis of the cue ball, when as it turned out I was off just a little bit to my right, just a little bit. And I think that was because of the LASIK I had in this eye. It got things just a little bit out of kilter for me. And I thought I had a swerve in my stroke once when I discovered it. I discovered it by hanging that plumb bob string. I thought I had a swerve in my stroke, but no, I didn't. I was just flat out getting lined up wrong. So I come down on a shot, and what looks perfect to me is actually off to the right, just a little bit. And if I really pay attention, I can correct that. And it's something I continue to work on. I may have overcorrected that guy. Now I hit the guy right in the head. So if I do that every time, what I was talking about was consistency. For a decade, instead of hitting center ball, I was hitting just a little bit of right English. But I was consistent about that. I was doing that almost every time. If I was going to put right English on a shot, it turned out I was putting a little bit extra right English. But I was doing that consistently. Left English, I wasn't getting as much left. But I was consistent, so I got used to it. Probably, in my mind I'm thinking, well, gee, for some reason I get more right English than left English. My stroke works better with right English, that type of deal. It's not the case. I was just hitting more to the right with right English. The same thing with squirt. A shot with right English is going to squirt more. No, it's not. It's just I'm hitting it more to the right. So, but as long as I'm consistent, I could get used to it, and I did. I didn't think, I never even considered that being a problem for me until I discovered this issue, and that I'm trying to work on. So now, if I'm seeing correctly and paying attention correctly, left English and right English for me are the same amount of English, same amount of spin, which is what you want, right? As I said, that is, as far as I'm concerned, that is the only type of accuracy where you can be 100% accurate, where a normal human being can be 100% accurate in where they hit this cue ball with the tip of their cue. Still takes practice and all that, but they can be accurate. There's not a whole lot of feel in it. The only feel in it is that if I'm going to hit bottom, I know that it's going to be the top part of the cue ball, or the tip is going to hit the cue ball. So you kind of got to get a feel for that. Where on the tip is it going to hit? I don't think that's that big of a deal, but it's there. There's still a small feel component. And where do you hit the cue ball? Unless you're going center ball on something. And I don't think too many good players are playing center ball on everything. A lot of the books say they are. Anyway, so that's the first type of accuracy I want to talk about. The second type of accuracy that I want to talk about, and this is the one that I guess a lot of people will just think of, well, this is the basic step of pool. And that is, what direction are you going to hit that cue ball in? Am I going to hit this cue ball, at that diamond down there? Am I going to hit this cue ball, into that pocket? What direction is the ball going to go in? This is all well and good, except there's more feel involved in that, because unless you're on center ball or on the vertical axis of the cue ball, you are going to have squirt. In a lot of cases, you are going to have swerve as well, and that there's feel for that. If I want to shoot this ball and get at that middle diamond, but for whatever reason I want to put a lot of right on it, I can't aim at that middle diamond. Even if I'm the most accurate player in the world at where I hit this cue ball, I can't aim at that middle diamond. I have to aim over this way, because subconsciously I know it's going to squirt. So I'm aiming about over here, and then eventually I get it down to where, it goes at the middle diamond with right spin. But it's a feel. There's just a feel for that, and experience and all that. You get into that. I don't think there's very many people, maybe none, that are going to be able to be 100% accurate at what direction is the cue ball going. like with where you hit the cue ball, I think you can be 100% accurate. Where's the cue ball going? You can be pretty damn close, and the better players are going to be closer and more consistent and things like that. But there's always going to be that feel component. Elevation can also affect that. I have right English on this shot, so I know it's going to squirt. If I hit it slowly, I know it's going to swerve back in this direction. But what if I elevate? Then it's going to kind of exaggerate all of that and curve it. It's a feel thing. There's no, oh, I'm 100% certain that the cue ball is going in that direction. It's, well, I certainly hope so, and I hope all my years of experience and practice get it in that direction. But it's still kind of a hope. The last thing I want to talk about is even more towards the feel side of things, and that's the speed. How hard do you hit this cue ball? I don't know if anybody ever goes, 1.2 miles an hour for this shot, 7.3 miles an hour for some other shot. Probably not. I have heard of people and read about people that will do, but this is a lag speed. You're going to hit it at lag speed, or you're going to hit it at twice lag speed. That's a horrible lag. A lot of those pro guys, it really impressed me what it does. Is they'll walk up to a table they've never seen before in their freaking life, and they'll lag, and they'll almost freeze the ball. And then the next match, they'll go up to another table they've never seen in their life. Maybe they do this to judge the speed, and then they almost freeze the ball. It's just really impressive to me. But the speed thing, I think, is almost all feel. For me, it's almost all feel. It's soft, medium, hard. Maybe you have more graduations than that. Maybe you're good at being consistent about that. The only thing that I think is probably really consistent, and maybe that's only in the short term, if I wanted to hit every shot as hard as I possibly could, like 9-ball break speed or something. Maybe because I can't go any faster, then that is pretty consistent. I don't even know if that's the case. Muscles get tired and all this crap. So there's a big, huge component in the speed of how hard you hit the shot. And this is what I want to talk about. I mean, I am a field player. I try to be a field player. And there's so much instruction and stuff out there that doesn't take any of that into account. They talk about accuracy like that's all you need. But there are very few cases where accuracy is absolutely all you need, or all you can do, all you have to do. And everything except hitting the vertical axis, the direction of the cue ball needs feel. You have a feel component for that. For the speed, it's almost always a guess, a close guess, we hope, but still kind of a guess. And I see my pay-per-view started, so I'm going to watch it now. And I will talk to you guys later. Click.